Coming back right at you with some more information of my experience with what people have been calling the Mandela Effect. I've come to find out that this phrase, the Mandela Effect, has been out longer than I could ever imagine, and that, according to this, when I Google this here, the Mandela Effect is a theory brought into pop culture by paranormal consultant and author Fiona Broome. Okay, Fiona Broome. Now, of course, we're dealing with somebody who basically, I guess you could say, coined the term Mandela Effect. And when you go to the website, this is the website, Mandela Effect, Alternate Memories, Alternate Realities. Welcome. This is a picture of her from 2010, and yes, she does look like she's flying on a broomstick. You know what I'm saying? Her last name is Broome. Witches are not to be considered evil. They're actually to be considered more in tune with the earth and things like that. And it really just comes from the word Wicca, which means one who is wise in their craft. So witch, wizard, the same damn thing. And certain speeches that I have seen Jay-Z do, talking about his artists and shit, he calls them wizards and shit. Don't believe me? Google it. I came across it one day. He literally was on stage on a microphone saying it. I'm not crazy. Like everybody is going to think I am coming up here in a minute, and already think I am. But clearly I am a part of this, and clearly there's things that I need to share, or else I wouldn't be making this video, because I told myself I wasn't going to do anything else on this Mandela Effect, because it's so amazing that, it's either the biggest. Well, the thing is I had to stop and say, how could this be a hoax? How could this be a hoax? The Berenstain Bears, interview with the vampire. No, I am your father. Luke, I am your father. Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. No, build it and he will come. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life was like a box of chocolates. It's just crazy, man. And it actually, it's I feel the emotional turns. You see what I'm saying? Because if people gonna think you crazy who are not awakened to this and who have not worked on their inner, technology, I guess you could say, their inner spirit, to communicate and connect with different dimensions, different realities and things like that for the past such and such years. I've been doing this since at least 2008. So this is the 8th year that I've been doing it, as far as meditation and things like that. Before that, I was I was listening to Cameron and shit, Dipset. So I'm telling you, I'm letting you know where I came from. It's a long way, you know what I'm saying? I used to sell crack and shit, you know what I mean? And I can't even believe that I did that, to the point to where I don't even like to say that was even me as a person, like standing in front of a store. Anyway, so this Mandela Effect thing is just crazy, you know what I'm saying? So Fiona Broome has her own website. She talks about the alternate realities, alternate memories. Since 2010, it's been an online journal about real alternate realities that people may visit every day but not realize it. And I know I read a book called Parallel Realities by Fred Allen Wolf a while back, you know what I'm saying, blew me away. The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, you know what I'm saying. I'm already aware of these things, and aware of the great shifts and things that were going to happen with consciousness and the people who are waking up and utilizing the spiritual tools to do it. Because these gifts like this is what's, it don't come in the form of money. It come in the form of like a universal, a galactic gift. I don't even know what this shit is, man. Anyway, so I want to try to be as short as I can, but I don't know. Spirit is spirit, and this is how we get down. It says, what is this? The Mandela Effect is what happens when someone has a clear memory of something that never happened in this reality. All right? And, I keep getting emotional because what I'm about to show you and what I'm about to tell you is crazy. I've been by the Walmart thing. The Walmart thing was a little bit more, you know, maybe my mind messed with me, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I guess there wasn't a star between the wall and the mart since 2008, you know what I'm saying. I thought I seen this shit a couple days ago, you know what I'm saying. So whatever. It's freaky. Now, many of us, mostly total strangers, remember the exact same events with the exact same details. The Berenstain Bears, Luke, I am your father. However, my brother does not remember that, and he denies that it ever even was. He said, no, it's no, I am your father. Which just really gets, it just like goes into my heart, like, what is going on? All people all around the world, for all my life, it's Luke, I am your father. You know what I'm saying? My name is Luke. My name is Luke. See? So that's how personal it gets. You see what I'm saying? The Berenstain Bears. My grandmother, who died in 2006, one of the most favorite people in my life, used to send me the highlights books, right, from Philadelphia when we moved to Beckley, West Virginia, and then she used to send me the Berenstain Bears books. There was never a fucking A in the Stein, you know. It's just crazy, man. You know. Now this Johnny Quest thing's coming out about there never being an H in Johnny Quest. You know, it's just too much. Life was like a box of chocolates. That's bullshit. So I'm going through some shit. You know what I mean? I'm going through some shit, and this has happened ever since Phife Dawg died, and I've been dealing with heavy stuff. Cause you know, Tribe Called Quest, they are influential in my life extremely. So, for Q-Tip, I have no idea what he feels. To me, I would say Q-Tip, that's like a brother to him. So you know, I already know it's gonna be a part 2 to this. So I'm sorry. 10-minute videos. So, however, our memories are different from what's in history books, newspaper archives, and so on. This isn't a conspiracy, and we're not talking about false memories. Many of us speculate that parallel realities exist, and we've been sliding between them without realizing it. Now, before I continue on, I want to tell you something. There was a movie that just was on. Now, this is what's going on as well. I realized this. All this shit. Also, since I watched this movie called Room 237, this shit has been going on too. And that's about The Shining and the Native American Holocaust, basically. But it's been going on too. So, and how I connect with actors and their characters, and how actors they almost play the same type of characters in different movies, and to me that represents a type of parallel universe type thing, because they are similar they're similar, but they're not. And then there's a Twilight Zone show. I don't know the name of it. The guy, he wakes up, he's in jail every day, and he can't get out of this dream, and everybody in the dream think that the dream is real. They think he's crazy. You see what I'm saying? And so he's telling them, no, you're part of me. This is a dream. I'm not gonna go to the damn death shit. I'm not gonna be, you know, electrocuted. I'm just gonna wake up again. It's just gonna happen. It's like Groundhog Day. You know what I mean? And he starts going crazy himself, because he's like, damn. And then at the end, the people start waking up and realizing it. And then when they start waking up, they start disappearing. You see what I'm saying? They start disappearing. Please stay with me on this. Okay? So, the movies, there's been movies, Jaws. Because in Jaws, now they say, no, you're gonna need a bigger boat. It used to be, we're gonna need a bigger boat. So now Jaws is coming on TV. Nightmare on Elm Street is coming on TV. That's dealing with your dreams, memories, and shit. Friday the 13th is coming on TV. Child's Play is coming on TV. Another movie. There's a couple movies that's pretending to this Mandela Effect shit that's coming on TV. And then the black dude who was the musician that played in Sliders, y'all. He's just in a movie that's dealing with a volcano. It's a sci-fi movie. I forgot the name. It came on the day before yesterday. And the nigga look almost the same as he did when he's making the Slider movies, which tripped me out. You know what I mean? It's like some Oprah shit. Which Oprah's coming out with a new movie on OWN about some church shit, dealing with the church and the preacher. And there's a new show on AMC called Preacher, who was possessed by some type of demonic entity. Okay? And so we got that going. But that's what I wanted to say. The dude that played in Sliders, the black guy, forgot his name, one of the main characters in the movies, in the show Sliders, it's on Netflix. I believe it's still on there. He is in a movie. I have not seen this dude in any movie, any shows in so long. I can't even tell you. Part 2 coming up. Second phase of the Mandela Effect experiences, and I was talking about how, and before I continue, it's 11:10. This is like the third or fourth time I've done a video, and not realizing it ends up being 11:11 during one of the videos, and I consider myself to be what is known as a 11er. It is 11:11. As a matter of fact, I'll show you something real quick. Sorry about that. I bought this album one day before 2012. So I bought this album one day. It was a like rock metal type shit. So as soon as I put the CD in, I threw it out the window. But I kept the case. I've kept it forever. And this is what it was. So these dudes was on some shit and on the 11:11 thing. And the first song on the album is Hanuman, which is strange because I'm about to tell you some shit that's fucking strange. This is not. I did not even mean to do this just now. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't write down this as an outline for the video. Everything is like freestyle, like I do with hip hop. And so there's 11 songs on here. The last song is called 11:11, and he has a song on here. Number 4 is called Logos. He has a song on here called Buster Voodoo. No, that was the second one, but the first song is called Hanuman, which is the ape-headed deity in the Hindu. It's basically an avatar of Vishnu, if I'm not mistaken, and he fights for Vishnu and things like that. So that's amazing. Now, I also relate Hanuman with Michael Jackson, and I can get into that in another video. But just remember, sliders, because that's what she's talking about. People sliding into different realities and different realms, different parallel universes, man. So, others favor the idea that we're each enjoying holodeck experiences, possibly with some programming glitches. In my opinion, these aren't mutually exclusive. This website is about real alternate history and possible explanations for this phenomenon. And remember, about a couple years ago, niggas was coming out with pictures of an old-looking Queen Latifah and an old-looking Jay-Z, looking like they was from the 1920s and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just think about those things. I'm saying I got something to say about this shit. Just remember those things. You know what I'm saying? There's also a picture of Eddie Murphy as well. You know what I'm saying? Which was fucking crazy. The Eddie Murphy picture was amazing. Maybe you can Google Eddie Murphy 1920s time travel. I don't know, and you'll see the picture. It'll blow you the fuck away. So 2010, this is basically a site history. It's going to tell you about the site history, and it's basically she's going from 2010 to she launched this website in 2010 using a new phrase, the Mandela Effect, to describe an emerging phenomenon. 2011, people began reporting more alternate memories. Clearly, this was more than just a few odd memories about Nelson Mandela. Now, before I even knew about the Mandela Effect, anything, back in those days, there was times I walk in the kitchen, forget what I'm doing. I'll make a glass of water, put the shit in the refrigerator, and sit down and like, what's my glass of water? I would do shit like that, you know what I'm saying? One day I made some cereal when I was little. I'll never forget this because this was a hell of an experience. I was little in my granddad's house. I made some cereal. I put the damn milk in the microwave. So these are just little glitches with the brain, with the mind, you know, just saying little things like that. But anyway, 2011, people began reporting more alternate memories. Clearly, this was more than just a few odd memories about Nelson Mandela. 2011 through 2015, we shared anecdotes and related data. Discussions ranged from chatty conversations to speculations based on data collection and so forth, or so far. 2016, with over 11,000 comments covering a wide range of topics, it was time to shift focus. Now I'm studying clues, patterns, markers, and theories that might explain the Mandela Effect and how people access alternate realities. And then she goes on with I'll say a little bit more in the background. Many years ago, I was one of the 2 people who coined the phrase Mandela Effect during a conversation in Dragon Con's green room. The other person was called Shadow, then a Dragon Con security manager. I have no idea which of us started using the phrase first. It started when Shadow mentioned that Shadow was the name of a character in the movie, in the book called The American Gods, which they are supposed to turn into a miniseries on HBO. I read the book. My dad sent me the book. It's a crazy book. It introduced me to the gods. Actually, I started studying the gods. But anyway, so it started when Shadow mentioned that, like me, other people remembered Nelson Mandela's tragic death in a South African prison. Apparently, others in the green room shared that memory. So I researched the concept and, with my publisher's support, started this website for additional research. I thought it was an interesting fringe topic for my spare time. It turned into something much bigger. I'm not going to go on. You can go on. She's got this website. It is called the MandelaEffect.com. And I'm telling you, you got to go check it out. I haven't even checked it out yet. Really. It just popped up when I was about to do the video for this shit. See what I'm saying? Because of what I'm about to get into and tell you real quick. Before, let me get this text message real quick. Hold on. Okay, she's going. See, I'm going to have to meet my wife in a minute. So, here it is. I got 6 minutes left in this video, so I'm going to just basically ride it out. Today is the day after. See, this is what's strange to me. I could have sworn the Golden State Warriors were going to win the damn finals. I just knew they were going to win. I just knew they were going to win, not because they were leading 3-1, right? Or whatever. Anyway, I don't watch the games like that. I'm not a faithful NBA fan because I believe that it's all rigged and fixed and shit. As a matter of fact, I told people that no matter who wins, the games are going to go to 7 games. Why? They do this shit all the time. When I say they, you go figure. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You can point the finger to they, whoever. It's the damn, Rothschilds, the Rosicrucians, the Bilderberg Group, Council on Foreign Relations, the Mafia, whatever. Interdimensional entities, whatever. You know what I mean? We really can't say we know. But on this planet and with physical bodies, we're dealing with secret societies and shit like that. So game 7, and the number 7, of course. There is no I in team, so that, there's things about the basketball shit and this Mandela effect going on right now. And the fact that Phife Dawg was a heavy basketball fan, and he used basketball symbology in his rhymes all the time. I mean, all the time. There's even a song he did with a beat that's got the basketball shoe sneakers squeaking on the court, you know what I mean? And it's just a regular type of chop, he just flowing and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's just real crazy. So rest in peace, Phife Dawg. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. No, I can't do that because I just want to make sure I haven't seen one video on what I'm about to tell you about this and it pertaining to my experience with the Mandela effect. I hope that the spirit stays with me because I have to go make a run and then I got to come back to you and to create part 3 of the video about what my experience has had with, and it has to do. Could I say this? Should I say this? Yes. Because I'm going to upload the video right after. Anyway, it has to do with gorillas. Okay? We know what happened in the zoo, Cincinnati Zoo, right? With the little boy in the gorilla, might as well say cage, in the gorilla's habitat. He fell in there. He fell down there. The gorilla did everything to him but kill him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't hurt him to the extent to where he could have hurt him. It's very key. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the injuries were of the boy, but what I've seen and what they showed on the news was just amazing. Him dragging the boy through the water and doing the things that he was doing to the little boy. Number one, he's not human, so we have to understand that. It's just very, very amazing, very strange. And ever since that day, things have happened to me. But there was a vision that I had that I'm going to share with you. Basically, I can do that now. And then we'll go to part 3. The vision that I had, and then we're going to go to part 3. Right? Because this is going to deal with hijacking consciousness or the evolution of consciousness and things like that, and the Mandela effect, and the ape, and the god Hanuman, and the fact that this is it, as in what Michael Jackson said in 2009, right? So I had a vision early morning, waking up half asleep, half awake. There was a van going around a corner, white van, very fast, and he was leaving like he was escaping something. And he had them because I've been interrupted about 3 times today, and which is apparently dealing with some psycho negative energies trying to keep me from doing this shit, because this shit is like real heavy and it's real personal. And like I said, the last video I was telling you about the vision that I had about 2 twilight mornings ago about a van basically leaving a particular area, and I'm across the street and I see this van going around a corner. It's a white van, typical white van, utility van or whatever, and the license plate's number said 1111 on it. So for all of my 1111ers out there, I felt as though I had to say something about it. I don't know what it really means, except for what I'm getting, which is which I ended up following it and ended up coming to understand that something was telling me to Google, hijacking consciousness, and YouTube hijacking consciousness, and there are lectures about hijacking consciousness and things like that. So it's all connecting with this Mandela Effect thing, because when we're dealing with that, we're dealing with the alternating or taking away memories, changing memories, parallel realities, alternate universes, things like that. As I showed you, the Fiona Broom website, she and her and another person was the people who coined this phrase, Mandela Effect. So everybody out here who's talking about some weed, it should just be called the effect. It ain't up to you. You call it the effect if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You call it whatever you want. It's just that this phrase was coined in 2010, not 4 months ago, but in 2010 by Fiona Broom. So to all my 1111ers out there, please understand that, stay awake, don't get caught up in any type of distractions, and just stay on point. The Orlando shooting was a heavy distraction. Rest in peace to all those who had lost their lives. There was apparently 50 deaths as far as I know. A very key number, and it happened at least a week or so before the summer solstice, which is today, June 20th, and today is also West Virginia Day. So it's all co-mingling. So this is what I wanted to tell you and wanted to share with you. That was kind of personal about the Mandela Effect and my experience. So a couple days ago, I had been thinking about my wife and her talking about how she wanted to go to the zoo, and then she wanted to go to the safari and do all these things, right? And I just started having feelings of not wanting to go to the zoo ever again because of the animals treatment and things like that. And a memory came to me about these 2 monkeys that we had seen when we went to the Cincinnati Zoo. No, not the Cincinnati Zoo. It was a zoo that was attached to an aquarium, I think, something like that. It was in Charlotte. Somebody knows or Greensboro. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. It's like an aquarium. It's got a zoo with it, and it's got something else with it. It's got a bunch of rocks and crystals and things like that. You know what I mean? Crocodiles and everything. But anyway, so these monkeys, one of the monkeys had a big bruise on his head, right? Big, huge bruise, and I thought about that, and it had his friend with him trying to help him with it, and it was just strange. The monkey would look at me and things like that. This was months ago. This was last year, actually. And so it made me decide, I don't want to do the zoo anymore. I don't want to do that shit anymore. A couple days later, I see this shit on the news about a little boy after his mom turns her back, he falls into this pit of a gorilla habitat, and the gorilla is like dragging this little boy to and fro through the little watery area, and doing all kind of weird shit to the little boy. But he really does not. It's not like he took the little boy's head and just like bit it or bit its arm off or did some things like that. It was just like almost literally playing with this little boy like it was like a toy. You know what I'm saying? And that was strange to me. So that came after me saying I didn't want to go to the zoo anymore. And so then my wife said she didn't want to do it anymore either. She was maybe wanting to do the safari one time, which I said, okay, that's cool. But even though the day after that, I was watching a show talking about the world's most dangerous animals or something, and this damn tiger was just walking through the middle of the street of this area. I guess that was a safari park. I don't know. And it was like had some type of disease or whatever that's turning them into zombies and shit. And you know, that happened. But anyway, so following the vision again, like I told you, and then dealing with the gorilla that fucked up the little boy, okay. And I think the mother, they're not going to press any charges on the mother, whatever, I don't know. But a couple, like 2 days ago, I went to go see The Conjuring Part 2 with my wife. It was Saturday, actually, the day before Father's Day. She took me to see it, and it's a freaky movie. But one of the parts in the movie, and this I guess is a spoiler alert, Conjuring 2, it's very small though. One of the people, they have a vision of no, I'm sorry, no, this is not a spoiler alert. This is in the other movie called The Infield Hauntings that came out last year that dealt with the Infield Hauntings, okay, which Conjuring 2 deals with. But one of the visions that he had, the guy with the mustache, who in the Conjuring movie, he's the guy with the mustache with the little bald spot, but which is strange, that bald spot that reminds me of the monkey in the zoo. Now he has a vision in his bed that he sees the little girl Janet coming off of there's the word slide again, as in sliders, right? So she's sliding down a slicky slide, and she goes so fast, and she basically slides off of it, and she bumps her head, back of the head, same area where they say, you know, the memory is responsible of, and the Hebrew deity Tahuti in the ape aspect is represented as the Kaf ape, and represents that part of the brain too, dealing with memory. So he had a vision that she busted her head open. I thought about the zoo, I thought about the monkey, I thought about the spot. I said, damn. So me and my wife was talking about the gorillas and things like that, and we had went to the Cincinnati Zoo before, and to see the gorillas. Was this one of these gorillas? I don't know, but we damn sure went to go see the gorillas. And this was like maybe 2013 or something, and one lady walked up to us, and she looked just like the lady that used to train the gorillas and stuff, right? I forgot her name. I know now, I'm about to tell you. But what happened is that she talked to me and my wife for like 5 minutes about these gorillas, man. And she had on one of them sun hats. And I said, you know, she looks just like that woman that was training the gorillas. And not the gorilla in the mist woman who died in the 80s. The other woman with the ponytail. So I was thinking about that. I said, you know what, that woman, yeah, she died. You know what I mean? She died. She just died of a natural death. That's all I know and all I remember. So, I'm researching things today, and one of the first news articles that pops up is, let me see if I can get to it, because this is gonna freak you out if you're following me here. It just blew me away what I seen. Okay, that's not it. That's Orlando's shooting. That was a winter solstice thing going on right there. That's not it. That's not it, but that's going to be, I'm going to show you that. Shit, where is it? It just blew me away. I'm going to find it for you guys. I'm sorry. Here's the Conjuring 2 thing. Real quick about the Conjuring thing. A man apparently died watching the Conjuring 2 and then disappeared into thin air. And that's something that's going on over there in India, whatever. That could be a hoax or whatnot. That's not what I wanted to show you. There's another clip on that about the 65-year-old man disappearing. Here we go. This woman right here. Her name is Jane Goodall, okay? Jane Goodall. How much time I got left? Because it's about to get freaky. Her name is Jane Goodall. Okay, Jane Goodall. Got a minute left. It's going to have to be a part 3. As you see in the back here, the Caesar-looking chimp, I think, possibly a bonobo, chilling. And then here we have Jane Goodall. Now, this says June 20th, 2016, which is today, the summer solstice. Okay, the summer solstice. I got 30 seconds left. I just want y'all to think about this, because what I'm about to say is this. I could have sworn that this woman, Jane Goodall, died years ago. I could have sworn there was a story about her dying years ago. I can't tell you which year, I don't know. All I know is that it was more than 3 years ago. I could have sworn this woman passed away. Part 3 coming up. It's an amazing face. It has a reflection, and then there's the monkey ape, I think it's a chimp. We'll just call it a gorilla. Whatever, you know what it is. That's not my point. My point is, it says, here it is. Jane Goodall says Zoo had no choice but to kill Harambe the gorilla. Now, as soon as I read this, I said, well, damn. And then boom. I said, well, damn, I thought she was dead. That's how it went down. So, when I seen it, all the visions came back to me about the zoo, me talking about the zoo and how I didn't want to go to the zoo. I'm at a loss for words. Okay? I'm at a loss for words. I said, well, am I the only one who thought that this woman died a long time ago? Because this shit don't make no sense to me. You see what I'm saying? This is a literal Mandela effect, as in the Nelson Mandela. People saying but I remember him dying after he got out of jail. I don't remember him dying in no jail, so that's one thing. But I just could not believe that this woman, you know what I'm saying, was still alive. And so there's people on here on this website says for that Diane Fossey is who people are getting mixed up. But she died a long time ago when I was like 1 or 2 years old, so can't be her. So here's this guy right here named Rural. He has 1.11 months ago. Well, somebody who worked with primates died of getting her face ripped off by one of the apes. I don't remember that being Jane Goodall, as I stated, but somebody out there did get their faces ripped off. So who? He says you're thinking of Charlotte Nash, who survived. This was in 2009, I believe. It's not it. Then this dude right here says, same guy, 3 points, Rural. I thought Jane Goodall died naturally of an old age. She also one of the first face transplant beneficiaries, right? I don't know. All I know is this. She was born on the same day as me, April 3rd, just in 1934. So she is an expert in chimpanzees. She's been doing it for 55 plus years, and that's it, you know. And then it goes on. Timothy Treadwell, who did die recently, has there's just no way it's her. Let me see. Yes, I remember that. She died. It was in the news, and how ironic, molded by a primate, and she loved them primates. I say that was about 4 years ago I heard of her death. The living dead are increasing for me. See, that's another thing. Now remember those shows that were coming out? Resurrection and Returned, right? One of them was with Omar Epps. All kind of stuff coming back. People coming back from the dead and shit. And then of course you know about the holographic images, Tupac, Eazy-E, Michael Jackson and the likes. People having these holographic images. But there's a lot of people who saying that they died. No, they didn't die. Something about Billy Graham. Billy Graham died. I remember for a fact that Billy Graham died a couple years ago, and then his son started speaking a lot. That's just off of research. Some people saying no, they don't remember Billy Graham dying. I just find that strange. Now my brother says it's never been no, Luke, I am your father, or Luke, I am your father. It's always been no, I am your father. That just breaks my heart because all my life it's been Luke, I am your father. My name is Luke. It's very personal. This is very personal for me because I could have sworn that this lady Jane Goodall, and this is the truth from the bottom of my heart, you know what I mean? I'm not lying about this. I could have sworn she passed away. So let me see what this guy says. The Night's Watch. What the hell, man? This is weird as fuck. I remember that too. It's a total mind fuck. I remember her dying, but she is alive. And there seems to be lots of people who have absolutely no recollection of the primate researcher who was killed by the primates she was studying. I don't remember that. I do remember her dying of maybe a natural death or something. I just don't remember her dying of primates. But it is possible that there was something, a story, now that I'm thinking about it, that there were no cameras or nothing around, but she basically, something happened to her in the forest somewhere, and she died around her peers and stuff. I don't know. But I can say this, that I do have a memory of her dying. How she died, I don't know. I'm leaning towards natural death, however. So, he says this is a total mind fuck. So, it was a huge fuss for a while. He's talking about how she died. The whole world talked about it briefly, and it's a very specific and easy thing to remember because of the irony involved. This is not the 1983 or whatever Diane Fossey lady. The whole world, okay, there was definitely a woman who studied primates and was killed by primates, and I too recall very clearly that lady being Jane Goodall. The thing that blows my mind the hardest is the people who can't seem to remember a primatologist being killed by primates, because that definitely happened. You are not alone, my friend. Wow. Thank you very much. As I had stated before, I remember the woman who studied primates who was killed by poachers, but I remember Jane Goodall being killed by what she was studying. This lady has done some surveying, and while not as prevalent as the bears, there are still many people who remember the same thing we do. R.I.P. Reality B, Jane Goodall, they're settled. That's strange. Somebody says you're thinking of Diane Fossey. Nope. As stated above, I remember Diane dying and Jane dying. So that's one website I came across, and I didn't do too much more studying. But this is Boom Shakalaka 89, 11 months ago. Mandela Effect. I vividly remember the death of Jane Goodall, the chimp expert who lived with them. She got mauled. I remember thinking how ironic it was that the gentle giants she advocated for tore her apart, not to be confused by the woman who was murdered by poachers. I remember that as well. Two different instances. I realized that I was going crazy a few months back when I saw that Jane Goodall came out against GMOs and thought to myself, nobody knew what that was when she was alive. This must be an Onion article. So then I didn't sleep for 3 days because I thought everything was a lie. So we got people who are, tripping. This one says this is an urban legend, So all I can say is this. This is my big Mandela Effect experience again. That is, as of March 2014, Jane Goodall has not yet died. This is a Google search. How did Jane Goodall die? This is what I typed in. Because fuck it. She dead. It's bullshit. But she's apparently alive. Not only that, she was born on the same day as me, April 3rd, 1934, in London, which is where the new Conjuring 2 is located. It's located over there in the UK. Also, Janet Jane is short for Janet. Okay, Janet is the name of the girl who was possessed by the entity in The Conjuring 2. She's the girl who goes down the slide in the movie The Enfield Hauntings that came out, I think, last year. Okay, a B movie about the Enfield Hauntings, that The Conjuring 2 movie is about, so it's based on true events. And she busted her head in a vision that one of the people who was helping the family had. Okay. I'm also reminded of Planet of the Apes because it's dealing with consciousness and things of that nature. And so, how many of y'all think Jane Goodall was dead? How many of y'all think she's never died? Just let me know. Leave comments. Jane Goodall, y'all. This is crazy for me. Real quick, I'm going to do more on that Jane Goodall as well. The Conjuring 2 thing, it could be a hoax. It's it came out the day before. It's just something that popped up. Good movie, by the way. But this right here, and I'm going to have to go. Star Trek actor Anton Yelchin dies at age 27. This was yesterday's report out of Variety. Brent Lang and Alex Steadman. So Star Trek, we know that I'm going to have to watch it because clearly his character is going to mean something. Behind him, you see something here. X, as in the X-Men, the new X-Men, the movie that came out that's dealing with the shit, the Mandela Effect and shit. And then Bury in, as in he's in a movie called something, Burying Something. So his name is right there. It's blurred up. He died. Star Trek is about crazy stuff. They've been to alternate realities. One of them was with Whoopi Goldberg in it, and she was the only one who knew about it. Part 4, I guess this might not make it on there. I can't help but keep on going because there's so much shit going on with this Mandela Effect stuff, or the effect, whatever you want to call it, Mandela Effect, whatever you want to call it, because there's so much more that I wanted to share with you. But real quick, Star Trek actor Anton Yelchin dies at age 27. He died Sunday morning in a freak accident. Okay, he was 27. Remember the one, Jimi Hendrix and all of them, Carol Lewis, I think. All of these people who died, Heath Ledger died at the age of 27. I think Otis Redding died at the age of 26. I believe Aaliyah died at the age of 27. I have to go back and check on that. But a lot of people died at the age of 27. It's called the 27 Club, right? And so you can Google that and check that out. I don't have time to go through that with you. My whole point of this was that this guy, who I can hear his voice now, and I'm pretty sure he played in other movies. I want to say he played in the movie called Odd Thomas. Odd Thomas deals with freaky stuff. And I watched the movie, but I forgot what it was about, so I'm going to have to go back and watch that again. Odd Thomas. It was on Netflix, just like Sliders. It's probably going to be on Netflix. If not, you're going to have to find it, folks, because the black man in Sliders, he's coming back. He's here today. He's in a movie called Volcano Something. It's on Sci-Fi. Forgot his name. Love him as an actor, a black actor especially, boom. So there we have it. His name, he's in a movie called Alpha Dog. So we might have to check that out and find out what Alpha Dog is. Fatal traffic collision early this morning. Strange. He died in a traffic collision. He had exited his car and was behind it when the vehicle rolled down a steep driveway. That's not good. That's not good. His most prominent role was as Pavel Chekhov, the Russian ensign in the rebooted Star Trek film series. The most recent film in the franchise, Star Trek Beyond, debuts on July 22nd. So, Star Trek Beyond, is he going to be in this movie? I don't know. If he is, damn. He's not an American. He was in a movie called The Hearts in Atlantis, I guess, which I was going to get into with you about that, but this is so much information. I just, man, like crazy. He appeared in Termination Salvation. He did a voice on the Smurfs. And yes, critics noted that his performance in Odd Thomas, based on Dean Koontz' book, was superior to the rest of the movie. Odd Thomas. So, and I think that Odd Thomas is what helped him get to where he's at today. I really do believe that. I do believe that I have the book Odd Thomas. This is a picture of him in Star Trek. That's horrible. It's horrible. Man, rest in peace to Anton Yelchin. So basically, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I also wanted to share with you some information in this book called You Are a Spiritual Being Having a Human Experience. He talks about this group called the Kogi, right? I did this because of the Orlando shooting that happened on Orange Avenue in Orange County in Florida. Gay club called Pulse. And the Pulse, excuse me, and the color orange is reminiscent of the 11.5 coronal mass ejection solar flare cycle of the sun. Okay, it's called a pulsing effect. Okay, so if I can read this to you real quick, because it's dealing with sliding in and out of parallel universes, because this is the way that we are being saved from cataclysms. For an example, say around 2012, a solar flare, because there was a lot of talk about the solar flare and the sun cycles, hit the Earth, right? Hit the Earth. Say that when it did, just like in the movie Terminator, I think it was Terminator 2, where she had a vision of the Earth being just eradicated by fire. I guess it was a solar flare. It was a nuclear holocaust, basically. She played in that movie. And so, say that it happened. And then think about the show Sliders. Well, instead of us, the Earth being null and void today, and human beings not existing anymore, and the Earth being just a fried onion, we, by the help of some higher dimensional entities, shifted into a parallel universe or parallel reality where that did not happen, and life is moving on and on and on. But in that parallel reality, that actually did happen, and we were eradicated. At least 90% of the human population is gone. Okay, so I got about 4 minutes left. There is a bit more to say about the pulse of the from the sun. Okay, though it would have destroyed all life on the planet if the Syrians had not constructed the holographic protection field, there are qualities of this light that are very positive. We're talking about the 1972 August era, where he says in this book that the Syrians came and helped us escape a solar flare attack or a pulse from the sun that would have eradicated life on this earth as we know it. We escaped it by going into a parallel reality. So, from the time of the pulse in 1972, Pulse Club, until sometime in 1995, the positive influences were held at bay by the protection field. But since 1995, and we gotta think about what movies came out in 1995, they have been allowed to enter Earth space and the Earth itself, and are part of the picture of how the transformation of consciousness on Earth is taking place. This is page 119. Okay. Japanese Shinto religion have been aware that a new kind of light from the sun would one day emerge and transform life on Earth. That's true. They associate this light with their sun goddess Amaterasu. That's very true. And they say that for 500 years this light has been hidden, but it is now emerging and allowing a feminine form of life to re-emerge. Very true. The Mayans, who are themselves survivors of Atlantis, okay, are also aware of the coming of the new kind of light from the sun. All right. There is a documentary that Velo Melchizedek with Hubatsman of Guatemala used. It was on BBC. It was called "From the Heart of the World: The Elder Brothers Warning." This tribe, the Kogi, had allowed the filmmakers to visit the film and to visit and film them because they wanted to send us a message. Okay, they said that their sacred mountain, which they refer to as the heart of the world, think about Hearts in Atlantis, he played in a movie called Hearts in Atlantis, Anton Yelchin, we're gonna have to check it out, was dying, and that if it died, the whole world would die too. Apparently meteorological changes brought about the modern man's contamination of the environment had created a drought at the heart of the world and a disastrous dearth of snowfall, and if these conditions continued, they say that the life of the earth itself was endangered. They said that this was their first and only warning to us, and that they would not contact us again. All right, 8:25 left. This might not be enough time. Recently, however, they seem to have changed their mind about contacting us, so they hollered at Dron Velo Melchizedek. The Kogi have no world language in our sense. They communicate telepathically through little sounds that they make, which are not words. Okay? The sounds the Kogi make are tiny, articulate heart sounds. I'm reading what I outlined and put in parentheses, okay? Little noises rising spontaneously from the heart. When uttered or when heard, they conjure up eternal or internal images, the same images in the minds of the persons uttering them and the persons hearing them. Okay? They seem to be sounds from the dream time, the plane of being that all people share internally, but which is covered over by conscious life, or another way of putting this is unperceivable on the second level of consciousness. Okay? The Kogi also retain the use of their light bodies and are able to travel about the face of the earth without physically leaving their jungle seclusion. They have actually been monitoring what has been happening on Earth, but had never before attempted to communicate with us. But since their awareness of the danger to the heart of the world, their sacred mountain, they decided dire measures were necessary. Okay, I got 10 seconds left. It's going to have to be a part 4 or part 5. I'm sorry, people. This is how we get down. Part to the introduction of actor Anton Yelchin dying yesterday, if not the day before yesterday, in a tragic traffic accident. He played in Star Trek, and I think he's playing in the one that's coming up. But anyway, he does have movies coming out. But he was 27. That's the key. 27. Part of the 27 Club. But back to the Kogi I was reading about, and the heart of the world in danger, which is the catalyst for showing that the Earth itself is in danger. So, the Kogi, okay, they speak with their heart and just little sounds, so it's telepathically. The Kogi also retain, okay, excuse me, I read that. What they saw, these are the Kogi, as they, communicate with us again, and as with their light bodies, they go around the world looking and monitoring us. What they saw is that this is page 121 of the book. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. What they saw is that we humans are not merely unaware, unconscious, or asleep. They think we are actually dead. And some people in the Mandela Effect do think that. They say that the life force in the dream that we have generated around us to live in is so weak that we are only a spectral shadow of what we might be. That, in effect, we are so dim that we are barely real, and that through the gross misuse of our own consciousness, we are about to draw the entire world into our shadowy existence. And this is the shadow is what the elite use to help control the world through you individually. This is why they release all the information as well, the New Age information, because some people are going to get it and some people are not. You see what I'm saying? So, the Kogi anticipated that on August 11th, 1999, the date of an important solar eclipse, we would simply fade away, right, into our own feeble dream, taking our weakly imagined world along with us. Only they and the Mayans, whom they had perceived had retained their light bodies too, would survive. But August 11th came and went, and we were still here. When they looked again to see if anything had changed, they perceived that indeed something had. Something changed. That all around the world there were people who had awakened to their light bodies, and that we had generated enough life force in our collective dream, not exactly to sustain the world's existence, but to produce a parallel reality, one in which the disaster inevitable in the world would not occur. Because they also saw that it was in part through Drunvalo's instructions in awakening the eternal Merkaba that this miracle occurred, they began to contact Drunvalo, the Kogi, and he is in fact learning to speak their heart sound language with instructions to teach it to us. Now, here's a section. Many parallel worlds. I want to be able to get through this with y'all before I run out of time because I want it to be the last part. Many parallel worlds, page 122. So it seems that it is possible that what not only the Kogi but many other prophets have divined has actually already occurred. The end of the world and things like that, comets hitting the earth and things like that. The poles may have shifted, and the earth may be lying in ruins, either from dire geographical or geophysical catastrophes, or as a result of human technological arrogance and folly. Remember, people are saying that the geography of the earth has changed during this Mandela Effect situation. This may sound very strange, no doubt. Well, hold on. We are no longer living in the world where it happened, the situation, the catastrophe. This may sound very strange, no doubt, but we may have shifted onto a parallel reality, a reality parallel the one that was prophesied to have happened. Okay, here is my speculation about the cause for this. This is the author. that the Syrians' intervention in our own evolution, together with individual and collective inner work, we have to understand this is during his time as well, 70s, 80s era, all the way to 2001, are successfully both allowing us to bypass the disasters and proceed to the higher dimensions in a new and unheard way, or unheard of way. No pole shift, no disasters. Rather, a gradually diminishing of the time lag between thought and manifestation. Come on, y'all. Think about this. Mandela Effect. But what happened to the world of the prophecies? And think about the Bible changing, prophecies and things like that. Were the prophecies simply wrong? But they have been right in so many ways, and in the case of the Bible code, as we shall see, spectacularly so. The Kogi present another possibility, that we are living in a parallel universe to the one in which the disaster really did happen. The disasters did actually occur, but in another world. This is the Kogi. Google the Kogi if you want to. Check them out. I haven't done it yet. I'm only referring to this book. Now, what I'm about to read is going to trip you the fuck out, because I have this Star Trek actor, Anton Yelchin, who died at the age of 27, which equals 9. I was also shown a clip, I think it was on Byron's YouTube channel, about Whoopi Goldberg telling one of the Star Trek people on the ship that they're in the wrong damn reality. Or they are not the one, they are not the captain that she knows, you know what I'm saying? Whoopi Goldberg's character. Now, there was an episode in the original Star Trek series where the Starship Enterprise gets caught in some sort of time-energy anomaly. A parallel enterprise appears in which all the characters, Spock, Captain Kirk, Scotty, and the others, all exist, but they exist as they would have been if they're... Now, I read this before I even knew this dude died, okay? I read this yesterday at work, okay? Okay, so, but they exist as they would have been if their personalities had not grown and matured as Starfleet officers. That's what I meant to, the Starfleet officers. All the dark aspects of their individual personalities, anger, egotism, sexual appetite, and so forth, become their dominant traits in this reality, rather than being as they are on the real Enterprise, as in rest in peace to the real Jane Goodall. I'm sorry. The real Enterprise lost. Okay, momentary aberrations that appear when the otherwise even-tempered and responsible characters are under some strange stress. It is as if there were an alternative parallel universe in which their development had simply not occurred, and they were all there living their lives in a much less developed state. My speculation is that something like that may be happening at the present time. The cataclysms and disasters, the pole shift, gravitational collapses, and the rest have actually already happened. But because we in fact have been evolving at an unprecedented pace, okay, due to the Syrians' intervention in 1972 and to our spiritual efforts. Now think about the book, The Hermetic Code in DNA. I have the book up there, The Hermetic Code in DNA. Okay, think about that book. I did a video on that. Okay, we have actually shifted into a parallel world where we have been able to avoid or temporarily avoid these terrible occurrences. He's saying the shit for the 1972 shit that's happening now. It's going on now, the Mandela Effect. That's what he's talking about. He's just referring to the 1972, 1999, 2001 era. Okay? So, he goes on to speak about modern physics and such as well. As I understand it, an elementary particle is not really a particle or even an ordinary thing at all, but something called a probability function. So he goes on to speak about the possibility that this shit happened, okay? What happened to the possibilities that did not occur? Where did they go? Did they just evaporate? Were they unreal to begin with? Well, for the physicists, one way of answering these questions is to assume that in fact they all occur, only they occur in parallel universes to the one in which we are making our physical observations. It is as if at the moment that I observed that it was raining outside, 3 different universes sprang into being. One in which I had an umbrella, one in which I didn't have an umbrella, and one in which where I got soaked. I'm just summarizing what I read. So that the universe is continually splitting apart into new parallel universes every time a decision is made